This is why I always do my One Piece reviews last, because One Piece always very good, all the time. Hello guys, One Piece review Dark Crush 17 here doing One Piece review 727. A hero lying in the wait. Oda, you are such a good writer. We start off the chapter, and Rebecca is fighting the big fat guy in the ring, and she's not spilling any blood. She's actually holding her own against him. I was actually pretty surprised about that. She's actually doing pretty well against him. She's getting tired, obviously, but anyway, then we cut to Soldier Son, and he's having a discussion, and he's saying how Rebecca, it's a continuation of last week, how Rebecca is his daughter, and then Usopp asks, "Oh, so she's your, if she's your daughter, and King Riku's the grandfather, then that must mean that you are the prince." I'm guessing he was gonna say prince, or you know what I mean, of Dressrosa, the original prince, and he just cuts him off, like he's not even listening to him. I found that pretty funny, good comic relief there. And he goes, "It all started 10 years ago when Monet." This woman named Monet came and started working in the village. And I go, "Oh, interesting. What did Monet do?" Now, I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't mention much about Monet. They just said, "Oh, Monet came to work and then that's it." And how the king was, super peaceful and shit. And then one night, he got a visit from Don Quixote do Flamingo, and while he was sleeping, and what so happened was he said, "I'm going to take back that which is rightfully mine." And Doflamingo basically says that Dressrosa belongs to him. And he says, out of knowing that this guy's name was infamous, and out of fear, he said, "Okay, what can I do to not have any war?" Doflamingo says, "I'll sell you my kingdom for 10 billion belly." And even though the king knows that he doesn't have that much, he's willing to go through the trouble of at least coming up to that sum of money in order to avoid war. Obviously, this guy seems like he doesn't like war, right? Well, that's good, I suppose, but at the same time, war is inevitable. You have to fight sometimes. That's kind of where the weakness of this king was exploited. But anyways, so basically, what he orders the whole kingdom to do without foreign aid is to retrieve as much money as possible from the villagers, from the citizens of Dressrosa. And what seems to happen is that while they're collecting all this money, they all trust King Riku. They're all like, "Yeah, don't worry, he's doing it for a good cause. Don't worry, guys, we'll pay you back. We'll pay you back every cent, every cent." And then the plot twist happens. Then King Riku comes in and starts killing everyone. Obviously, he's not doing this of his own accord. He's crying, and he's saying, "Run, run." And I thought this was pretty good. He was killing, and then we cut to the last scene, and then we see that it's what's his name, Doflamingo, controlling him, and he's such a loathsome king. How can you call yourself a king if you do this to your own people? Now, obviously, it's Doflamingo doing it for him. We know that, right? Using his we figure out what the technique is called: parasite. Parasite. So that was pretty cool. I mean, but this is an interesting plan that Doflamingo has. While Riku and his soldiers are killing a lot of the villagers, Doflamingo will come in. He says, "I will come in." Now he says, "We have to plunge this country into absolute fear. Wait for them to curse King Riku from the bottom of their hearts. That's when the hero will arrive." Hero obviously being him, savior of Dressrosa. Bullshit. In other words, he's giving himself a false title. And this chapter is such a good chapter because it reinforces how evil, how pure, Kishi, take notes, how purely evil a villain can be. Not because his best friend died, no, because he's actually cruel, selfish, and so on and so forth. Not because, "Oh, my best friend died, therefore I'm gonna attack the whole world." Bad fucking villain. Okay? Anyways, so one thing I didn't like about this chapter was that Oda could have, when he foreshadowed, instead of foreshadowing to us his ability, like using it on Sanji, using it on Atmos, using it on a whole bunch of people, Bellamy, using it on all these people, instead of using it on them, I think Oda should have waited until this chapter to show it, or a chapter before. In other words, like with Sanji, or with Law, or someone that Doflamingo was about to like lose to, or like get hit from, and he didn't want to get hit, like, and he would have stopped it with this technique. It would have built up much more suspense, in my opinion, if Oda wouldn't have shown this ability throughout the show so much. Because at the same time, now that we see how this happened, I'm not as like surprised or like, oh my god, how the hell did he do that? Like, what is his ability? Like, you know what I mean? I didn't know his ability can do that. Imagine if we didn't know, right? You know what I mean? As opposed to like just cutting shit. You know what I mean? So I thought it would have been pretty cool if Oda would have just showed us once, like a hint of how this ability works. Because then, once this chapter would have came to be, we would have been like, oh fuck, that was so amazing. Like the suspense would have been built, and we would have been, you know, overwhelmed by the amazingness of something we've never seen, or we barely saw. So that was just basically all I had wrong with the chapter. Other than that, it was a fantastic chapter. We found out that King Riku, like, it answered questions, obviously. Found out what happened to King Riku and so on and so forth. Now we know. But like I said, the little thing about the suspense thing, it could have been better, obviously, in my opinion, but whatever. Like, I can't win them all. And like all these chapters are freaking short, in my opinion. But whatever. I guess 20 pages, not even 20 pages long, a little less than 20 pages long. And but it was a good chapter, like I said. We find out a little bit about the past and how psychotic Doflamingo is. I rated 8. I'm going to say 8.5 on 10. Or maybe 8. No, 8 is good. Yeah, let's say 8. 8 on 10 for this week's chapter. Really good review, really good chapter, Oda. Like, excellent. I'm curious to find out what happens next. As always, Oda, you are an excellent and phenomenal writer. I hope you guys have yourselves a great weekend. Oh yes, I apologize for the videos coming out late because someone in my family sort of like passed away, and I had to go to like the masses and so on and so forth. So I did not really have a chance to make the videos, and besides school and all that. It was a pretty hectic day for me yesterday, so I apologize for the videos being out late. I hope you guys have yourselves a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.